All right, welcome to Raising Funds for World Domination, Day 102. So, here's the standard intro. I figured it's about time I should update it. Maybe give more of an overview goal of what I'm actually trying to accomplish. So recently, as you've seen from previous streams, I've been working on trying to do some optimizations to the terminal block mining game. And I've what I thought would maybe take a couple days has gone on at least a couple of weeks now. So the summary, so today what I got done was I made my screen merging function generic enough to support screen layers that are at different offsets. So tonight I'm going to do some refactoring, and then the remaining work is I need to add support for variable sized so need to support multi-column characters in the merging process. And then what would be awesome is if I can implement I was thinking like one of the core issue I'm trying to solve is screen updates are just incredibly slow, and I think it's because there's some cases where the code is not smart and it's updating the code, the UI, multiple times. So I figured if there's a way that I can maybe reuse some of the those debug functions I'm actually using in the test cases to turn on a flag and then have an overlay print to the screen. And then I can just tap through, tap next, so it'll slow down the updates, but that way I can just, I can basically look at it, process the updates as it's drawing them. So that way I can get interactive feedback to see if it's drawing 50,000, so if it's updating the UI 50,000 times. Because I think there's a lot of cases where that happens. And so unfortunately my refactoring work has broke it. There's a bunch of bugs I've introduced somewhere along the way, and it's also incredibly slow. So once I have it actually working, I'll do some profiling to figure out where that bottleneck comes from. Orthoplex 64 sends a wave, as always. I'm a bit late acknowledging you. Yeah, so that's what I'll be working on today. So let's see what it looks like. So unfortunately, to fix bugs and stuff, I've had to add more like bounds checks and stuff like that that have made it even slower. Still got a bunch of weird issues with like that character appearing up there. I don't know what causes that. But I'll debug that last. Can you make me a GPU? I can make a CPU. I have a video on that you can check out. Oh, look at that. That's totally wrong. Wow. Interesting. That must be from bugs. Neat. I introduced a new bug. Have you ever made one? No, I only made a CPU. Yeah, I'd imagine it's quite similar to make a GPU. Is it hard to make a CPU? I saw your video. You're asking if it's hard? I mean, in the 1980s, the models they made were like it is within reach of like one single individual working in like a lab could make like a basic like if you take a 1980s era circuit, it's like, you know, micron scale features. Would you save money type of thing? Compared to like practically like an actual Intel CPU, you wouldn't have any hope of making one like a modern Intel CPU. The ones with like the cutting edge ones, you need like, you know, a few nanometer scale features to pack so many features in. It's too much work for one person. But if you go back to say like a 1980s computer, like maybe a, you know, like one super intense crazy person could maybe make a, if someone did some of the other design work and stuff, you could probably theoretically with enough money you could make your own 1980s era Commodore CPU or something. I think it's doable. It would probably have issues, and maybe it would have like, you would have to run it at like a slower clock speed or something, or there might have you might have to run it at like higher power or something. Did you make money from that video? Yeah, it's actually my my biggest video. I think it's I think I made about like $1,000 per million views or so. It's like a dollar something per 1,000 views. 17 million. Yeah, it is. I think the total, like in all time, I think I made. I forget last time I checked. It was over $10,000. All right, let's see if I can start randomizing the layer size. Actually, are you 1337? Yep. 14. Oh, is that that's the views? 14,600,000. Yep, it's my most viewed video. Made 14.7K from it. It's on that. That's close to it. I don't remember the exact amount. It might be just like slightly more. I think it was just over $1 or something per 1,000 views. What are you doing? I'm currently working on fixing some test cases for a terminal-based video game that I'm working on. I'm working on debugging the process of merging together the screen layers. Index out of bounds. All right, that works. Nice. Nice. Does not crash. Just ask AI. It would already have done it. See, AI is not good enough though. It'll always come back with something, but it's wrong. I think AI can work for some types of code, like boilerplate stuff. Anything where you got like a bunch of nested for loops. It doesn't know what to do. Can't confirm it would try. If it would get it done, it's a different problem. Yeah, I've it's on my one of my things high up on my to-do list is to really sit down and actually try it. AI coding. I haven't given it that much of a attempt. There's moments where I'm like, oh wow, this could be really powerful. But then historically, every time I've tried to like you can ask ChatGPT for code, but what I want is for it to operate on a code base. And I guess that, as of this year, I think that's actually starting to get good, where you can ask it questions about a code base and get it to like automatically apply changes. I think for like if to tell it like make a new class that's similar to this other class, but add this and that, it can do that pretty well. Or like really predictable patterns like serializing and deserializing an object. Like if you say, here's a class that has some, JSON serialization, make some getters and setters for this thing. It seems like it can do that kind of stuff good, but in terms of like a lot of the code that I have in here that I'm working on, like I haven't tried it that much, but I did for fun the other day. I just clicked on the GitHub what is it, Copilot, and I asked it some questions about my code. So this is what this function looks like. And tonight I'm going to be refactoring it to kind of simplify some of these crazy things. But this is like exactly what I don't want AI doing for me. I'd like to ask it, hey, refactor this to simplify it and make it faster. It'll give you something back that looks similar, but whether it's correct is questionable. The Squee 183 says, hello, handsome. How's it going? What are you working on? I am currently working on, still working on the screen layer merging process for the block mining simulation game. Tonight I'm probably going to try and simplify some of this craziness that I wrote today. Today I extended this function to support merging layers that have different offsets and different dimensions. All of its elements are automatically initialized to false. That's what AI says, but is AI correct? Let's look for Oracle documentation. Its default value. For Boolean, the default value is false. Excellent. And for int, it's 0. That's good to know. First time using Google and Stream. Yeah, I guess I don't think it's the first. I use it every once in a while. So I think I can dramatically simplify a bunch of this stuff with the following. What is this? This is coding on my terminal-based video game. So I'm working on improving some test cases, to fix bugs and performance issues in the screen layer merging process. Excellent. I guess I worry about my whether that explanation provides enough context, because I don't know how much a random viewer knows about programming. So if you don't know about programming, that explanation doesn't help very much. But I guess the YouTube algorithm is getting good. It's finding people that program and sending them to my stream. I asked Cloud to look at your terminal block mining code and make it some suggestions if you want to hear them. I don't know if they're true, maybe hallucinations. Yeah, I'd be interesting to hear. Someone. Oh wow, there's 29 people here now. Someone did before, and it found some stuff that I would consider irrelevant, or like, you know, maybe it had a point, I don't know, but it's like not the highest priority stuff. I have this class called like Bean Factory Post Processor, and it's like doing this is an anti-pattern. You should use the standard like XML file way of it, or like you should put like bean wrappers on it or something. And I actually spent a lot of time basically like fighting the framework to get the implementation I had, because it worked around something else. Yo, Robert, greetings from SoCal. How's it going? You should make your first AI project to be an automated bot answering those who are curious about what you're doing. I guess I could. There's lots of stuff I should do. I guess for a while it's been on the to-do list to improve the UI. It would be good if I had like a counter that had the like total amount raised so far toward world domination. Just discover your channel and love listening to your takes. Excellent. The YouTube algorithm is doing its job. Don't program. I used to watch a lot of code bullet videos, so I think that's why YouTube recommended this to me. Yeah, there's I guess a lot of the audience is people who are just kind of curious about coding, which is that's good. Yeah, I think there's what we're kind of missing in society is like 100 years ago, if you wanted to learn something, you could just like you could walk down to the local blacksmith and like watch the blacksmith do work, or you can like watch people do work. But that doesn't really exist. You can't just like walk into Google and watch people program and talk to them. So I think there's a bit of a niche for that in streaming. Is that Java? Yes, it is. I'm studying computer science at my community college. Outlook is bleak, but I'm persisting. Yeah, the outlook is bleak. I don't know, in my media diet, I mean, like the job market is one thing. I find it's hard. It's getting harder to know what's happening in reality now. Like the news that I'm getting, like when I check the mainstream news doesn't seem to report on news anymore. They're just like, hey, look at this viral video of a dog, or like, have like some stuff about like Trump did some tariffs, and a lot of the other like bigger things that they just don't mention it. And then the job on YouTube anyway, there's a lot of videos popping up about people super frustrated about finding jobs and getting laid off and stuff. Now, having said that, in my most recent video, I talked about like career paths and stuff, and just for an experiment, for those of you who have seen that video, I just did some cold calls. So I just called some plumbers. Some people were talking, it's I think it was Jeffrey Hinton actually suggested that maybe software people should become plumbers now. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go like call some plumbers and ask them how just chat with them for a bit. And I think I made 8 calls, 8 different plumbers. I got five people answered the phone, and a couple of them said that they were hiring, and there was like never enough people in the trades. So I don't know. I'm not sure how much that generalizes, but there might even be a niche for like, I don't know, kind of like a community group or something of people just like find where the jobs are. LeBron James. I guess that's a basketball player, I think. Ground news is good apparently. Yeah, I think it probably is. It's better than some of the alternatives. Carissa says, hola. How's it going? I think that means hello. I think if you stay proactive in your learning, create projects and network a ton, you will be successful. Yeah, it's also I'm not sure when you graduate, but it eventually the economy probably will recover someday. It might take a long time, but depending on when your graduation date is possible. Like if the job market's terrible now, it's good to be in school while the job market is terrible, and then you can graduate into a hopefully better market. If you're graduating and then the market tanks, that's not a great position to be in. To be fair, I'm a CS grad who is struggling to get a job, but I made a lot of mistakes. I don't know. I think a lot of people are also like, people are too willing to just blame themselves. I think people have a lot of justification. Like it's not there's more to life than just like always beating yourself up and being miserable. It should be possible to succeed by doing some basic stuff. Because I mean, you even have to think about like society still has to function. That like, there is some group of people who are in the bottom 20% of intelligence. So I mean, I would say if you're studying computer science, you're not in the bottom 20% of intelligence for society, but we still do need to build a society where the bottom 20% of people can do something. So what are they going to do? And if the people at the top are not doing well, then something's not right. Raising funds for world domination, huh? Yes, I have some more details. If you check, I have a video on my channel called "My Plans for World Domination." That's where I explain in detail my plans. All right, I think I can improve this bounds check. So if I do this, in general, things require people below to hold up people above. Yeah, but I guess it's the question is who is above and who is below. That's a question that people like to argue about. And that guy, I remember you. Yep, it's me. I'm that guy. What is your favorite programming language? I think Java's pretty good. I think every programming language is a tool. Yeah, and you have to pick the right tool for the job. Robert, being a software engineer, I'd like to know what you think of Bitcoin. I don't own any Bitcoin. I have. I talked a bit about I have a video called "What I Do Differently in Life," and I bought Bitcoin years ago at $200, and then I sold it close to 1,000 or something, and then I made like $600, and then I diversified the remaining stuff, and it all got hacked and stolen on the all the exchanges, and I pretty much avoid and like ban anyone who comes here and tries to talk about. Like if someone just mentions Bitcoin in passing, I don't mind. But if people like really want to talk, they're like really interested in Bitcoin and want me to like start some crypto exchange with them, then I have to ban or threaten to ban people who really want to talk about it. But yeah, Bitcoin is just associated with too much garbage and scamming, and I mean, it used to be people pitched it as like microtransactions. That was going to be the thing. It was going to be like every time you visit a website, you'd pay like a fraction of a cent in microtransactions, and it was going to be this revolutionary thing. And then they're like, that didn't pan out. So like, oh, it's got lower fees than credit cards, but now it has more fees than credit cards. And it's only used for like scamming, and like the only people who are really interested in it are interested in like malicious activity. So I have no interest in it at all. Oh, what is your way of doing breaks after a burnout? After a burnout, I'm not really sure I have burnouts. I would say like my what happens to me when I get like overworked and stressed is I don't really like, I end up working more, but the my burnout consists of like being less effective at what I'm doing and like having difficulty. Like I'll start focusing more intensely on increasingly irrelevant things. But I would say like to avoid burnout in general, just keeping up like a regular cadence. Like for this thing, I work on this like a bit every day. And I also have like an exercise routine, and no matter what, the exercise comes first, and I prioritize that. And if it means I'm late, then I'll just be late. Just downloaded Cursor a couple days ago, and I've been experimenting with it. It's hit and miss. It generates so much code, it's hard to get exactly what you want. Yeah, that's my understanding of it as well. I think that like the volume of code, like having many lines, is not really a measure of how good it is. I think a much better measurement is if it always produced small amounts of code that was always correct. Because a lot of like the result of my intense refactoring work is I will delete massive amounts I will like unwrite code. Don't ban me, Robert. I love your content so much. As long as you don't ask me to start a crypto gambling exchange with you or something, and then I'll be like, no, and you're like, no, man, it'll be a great idea. We'll make so much money. And then you start spamming the chat about your crypto exchange. How about blockchain technology? I mean, in general, Git is a blockchain. It's a chain of, or I think blockchain should really be called block tree, because that's what it is. I think Git is a good blockchain. I wanted to know your opinion from a software engineering perspective. From what I understand, I know there was they pitched it from it's like this secure anonymous way of transacting stuff, but I forget the low level details of the protocol. But from what I recall, you need for the public key, you're technically like to have full secrecy on it. You need like full anonymity. You need to keep like the public key private, which is like kind of violates the whole public private key system. And like what they pitched it as like an untrackable thing, but it sounds a lot like it's more trackable. I know it has some strange use of SHA-256. It's like it truncates it or something, so it's got some unusual thing going on there. I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't been completely hacked by now, that like someone would find a flaw in the hash function and then just like completely destroy the entire blockchain, and like via like crafting fake blocks and adding them to like just stealing all the coins. Alexander says hello. How's it going? World domination, what's your plan? I have a video dedicated to that topic. If you check my channel for my plans for world domination, it's a few videos ago. Thanks, Robert. You're welcome. Why did my comment get deleted? I have just the auto moderation on the chat, and the YouTube algorithm randomly deletes some people's chats. It's almost never because of swearing. It's because of like sometimes if you talk about like politics or one of the most common things people have deleted is if you make a joke about a conspiracy theory, then it'll censor that. So cool to find out you were a school professor. Wish I had a professor. Actually, we had you as a professor. You seem like a cool teacher. Oh, thank you. Hopefully you get the same effect from my videos. I like his voice. Thanks. I get that comment a lot. I'm lucky that there's no particular thing I did to sound this way. It's just unintentional. How are we taking it down? Politics bad. Seems YouTube is shadow banning some of my comments. Oh, interesting. Yeah, a couple. Someone else just commented that there were comments getting deleted. Yeah, I guess you can just kind of like change the text or something. It's nothing that I'm doing. As long as it's not like you're not like trying to sell some crypto scam or something. I just said something about potential application of distributed ledger technology, past alternative currency, and it got retracted. Yeah, I have noticed when people talk about money or like financial systems, that actually seems to be something that's high up in the list. Like if someone mentions the Federal Reserve, that seems to be a topic it doesn't like. Buy Doge. I owned Dogecoin a long time ago, and that was also one of the coins that I lost because the exchange got hacked. Do you play chess? I do not. I don't know. Barely know the basic rules. I posted a comment on world domination. I think the algorithm assumed it was a conspiracy theory. Yeah, it's. I think it's some of it also some people seem to get like their posts get shadow banned a bit more, but I don't know the algorithm behind it. Sometimes like there's some people who are who've been long-term paying channel members who'll post like a Linux command. Like someone posted something about using Python with the -m flag, and then like that was a long-term channel member. And that post, that comment got deleted. So I don't know not sure what the algorithm is. Any thoughts on UBI? I think when I talked about that a bit in my most recent video on jobs, but I think if we ever do get it, the cost of rent will just go up immediately by whatever the cost of UBI is. So it'll just immediately get taken by real estate companies or landlords. And then if people say we need to increase it, then the government will increase it, and then the price of housing will just go up again. Any thoughts on Ligma, the fictional disease? Don't have any thoughts on that. Yep, I've heard that before. So I think that bounds, I don't think I can change the bounds the way thought that I could. Need a nap. Yeah, I've been yawning a lot the last few days. I kind of wonder if I've been a bit tired. I think it might be might have something to do with the air quality here. Apparently, it's I'm in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, and it's like smog. I think we have some of like the worst air quality in the world the last week because there's wildfires. If you go outside, it smells like smoke. It's been the way most of the summer. How many days do you think it will take to accomplish your goal? I'm not sure, but I think if I just think positive, it should be any day now. Someone will land in here, and they'll get one nice big super chat for 12 billion. Sucks. Sorry, I have to endure that. It's not too bad. I kept the windows closed. At least it's not too hot, so I can just stay inside where I don't think the smog has gotten inside too much, but if it stays smoky for a few more days, then it probably will. You can make a very effective air purifier with a box fan and some filters. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Actually, you know what? I do have just a random furnace filter that's in the closet that I could use if I get super desperate. I actually don't really even notice the smog that much. Yeah, I think it must be like super fine particles. So I thought I could maybe change this bounds calculation, but I can't. Because I have to iterate over the entire region, including ones that are not actually within the layer region in question. you been to Arizona? I have not. Although Arizona seems like a neat place if I was ever to get rich, like build a place or to buy up a bunch of land. I think Arizona would be a nice place to go. Oh, welcome to the student tier, Mech channel. So I might be able to do that balance calculation change here. I'm watching my plans for world domination concurrently. Excellent. One more supporter for my campaign. I'm head out now. Nice stopping by. Have a good night. How's your evening? Pretty good. pretty similar, consistent with the last few evenings. 12 billion, be much cheaper to build colony down in Arizona. Yeah, I think the issue is getting land though. Up in Axel Heiberg, there's lots of unclaimed land. I guess not necessarily unclaimed, but there's not a lot of competition for it. All right, let's see if that works. All right, it builds. But do the test cases pass? Nope. I introduced an error. Can't even code, but watching it is such a vibe. Yeah, I think that's a common sentiment. You gotta start somewhere. Oh, actually, that might be why. The whole point of that exercise was to get rid of those crazy offsets. Maybe this will work. New member, nice. Yes, indeed. I just need about 11 billion some odd members, and then I'll be good. I could build a new Deepwater port every month. Let's see if that works. Our software is going to be such an internet sensation. We're so early. Excellent. Hopefully I can be enough of a sensation to get my 12 billion. It's been a long struggle. Nope, that's still wrong. Not even Mr. Beast has 12 billion. I think Mr. Beast is I think he's worth on the order of $1 billion. $1 billion. His videos get so many views. That bounds calculation seems like it should work. I got an e-bike from Mr. Beast, which has been a life changer. I learned anything from his content. Interesting. Huh, that is a very random fact that I would not have expected someone to say. That you got an e-bike from him and it changed your life. Was it like a giveaway contest or something? I know he was involved in a bunch of controversies and stuff for a while. People claimed that he was like not actually giving stuff out. And people criticized all the wells that he supposedly built in Africa. But I've not fact-checked any of these claims. Giveaway contest. Been writing it to work. School. For almost 2 years. Excellent. Yeah, it's kind of amazing how sometimes a simple thing can make all the difference. Yabba dabba doo. Giveaway contest sponsored by Electric Bikes in Arizona. Yeah, I never really thought about getting an e-bike, but I know they have They can also be a significant fire hazard. That has to be index. And Y. That'll work, I think. They sent me a 1099 tax form. But my income is so low, I don't have to report it. Nice. Watching history in the making. This game is going to take over the world. Yeah, I hope. I'm kind of disappointed at how slow and complicated this screen layer code is getting. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I think. This whole oh nice, it works. This whole refactoring arc. I'm doing it to fix some bugs with merging layers when there's multi-column characters. So if you have a layer behind and there's a multi-column character, it has to overwrite part of it, and I had to come up with some sensible rules for that. And then all this is kind of, I want to add a compatibility mode to make it work in more terminals. And this kind of facilitates that. But unfortunately, to make it more correct, it has to be more complicated, which makes it slower. You know what? Let's test even more cases. So I don't want to have subtle bugs introduced. I hope it's not an oncoming train. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Maybe that was something I was talking about a couple minutes ago. Just saw your stream randomly and my recommendation. Oh, that means that YouTube has decided that you're interested in Linux and the command line and computer programming and terminal-based video games. The light. Oh yeah, the light. Okay, that makes sense. So the stuff you see flashing on the screen, this is randomly composed layers. So it goes through the process of merging them together. So for every layer, so this is the actual text on the layer. So just random characters. Then this is a separate thing to indicate. Oh, you know what? There's too many inactive layers. Why are there so many inactive layers? So that's for an inactive cell, but for an inactive layer, let's make that more rare. So that's for an entire layer. All right, that'll give more coverage. There we go. Yeah, so for every layer, this is a representation of what would actually be printed on the screen, just some random color codes and characters. This is the assignment of whether each character is active. So that the character in this position right there, that's active, and the one over here, that would not be active. And this indicates whether it's changed or not. So I keep track of like whether the character has changed. So when I'm merging together layers, then I can just inspect that flag instead of doing a comparison, which is more expensive. And then I also have this change region structure, which is just a simpler way of that way I can specify a subset of the screen to update at once, so I don't have to iterate over the whole thing. What music do you like, Robert? I like random music, stuff that comes up on YouTube recommendations. Jerome Powell sends his regards. Excellent. He's if he could just give me some of that money that they've got, that'd be really great. They could loan. You know, maybe I don't even need to raise 12 billion. If I could just get a low interest loan, or maybe I could get a $12 billion loan with a negative interest rate. If they drop rates low enough, can't afford that. Why not? They can just make the money up and give it to me. It's easy. Try American Express for free money. I mean the credit cards. I don't know if they have a credit card that'll let you put 12 billion on it. Family Desai says, "Oi, you must be from Australia." That's how you say hello in Australian. Honestly, if you name your country the country of Donald Trump instead of Axel Heiberg, then Trump might actually donate 12 billion. Yeah, maybe. Or I could call it the something America. Maybe that would or maybe I could just make it take donations and funding. I could make the name like the world's longest name and just put it full of advertisements. Did Waterloo cost you your hairline? It cost a little bit of it, and then I guess it was after the 10 years of business struggle after that. And then, there's the pandemic, and then we got world wars now and stuff like that, and the hairline is just taking a ton of punishment. Gulf of Jerome Powell, he will donate 12 billion Trump coin. Interesting. I guess that could maybe work. Hi Robert, hope you're doing well. Yep, I'm doing pretty good today. Probably your mom stressing about calling all the time. Yeah, I do get a lot of spam calls from fans. Always wanted my attention, but I got terminal-based block mining games to write. I don't have time to answer all these phone calls. 12 billion Trump coins. How much is a Trump coin worth? I can help me look smacks. First, let's get you a mewing schedule. Thanks, but I'll probably take care of my own look smaxing routine. Robert is already max looks. Yeah, it's true. One Trump coin is $9, increasing, decreasing every day. Yeah, I saw a video about that, and I guess I think there was some insider trading beforehand. I wonder. Maybe I can move the S outside the loop. I'm processing a whole chicken I picked up for $5. Even the cashier was surprised. That's a good buy. The best ASMR on YouTube is Robert's response to ridiculous chat comments. That's what live stream's about. You gotta give the people what they want. Here is Sick Gouda says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm currently working on some test cases for my terminal-based block mining game. It's a unique way of reading all the comments in deadpan humor style. Excellent. I'm glad that someone appreciates the work that I do. Do you remember taking SC212? 212. Was that like the seminar course or something? Or was that like an actual logic course or something? Logic and oh yeah, was all proofs. Was that taught by? Oh man, I'm forgetting his name. Was that with like single turnstile and double turnstile and deduces? Yeah, that was it. That was a neat course. How the heck do you code and pay attention to us at the same time? It was difficult at first, but then after a while, I kind of I can. This is my vibe coding. I just coded on pure vibes. Once I get settled into the vibe, I can just be thinking about how to separate up this. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think my code is really stupid. I think I'm calculating this occlusions thing within this for loop. I'm calculating it for every j. Let's do this and then see if this works. I think that's what I'll want to do anyway. And if that works, that'll probably make it a lot faster. Oh no, it does need J. Oh, never mind. I found an optimization. I think he proceeds. pre-records the programming and just talks. Well, I don't actually get a lot accomplished during the stream. It depends on if I ignore the chat and there's nobody talking, then I'm usually accomplish stuff. Robert could do hyper-threading in his head. No, my mind is mono-focused. I can't task switch very well. How do you even prepare for that? For the logic course, SC212, or for streaming and programming. His cursor is moving all over. His hands aren't even on the keyboard. Seeing through the illusion. I only move the cursor when I'm deep in thought with the chat. Final in a couple of days. Actually, oh, so you're doing that right now. That course, I think that was the lowest mark I got in all of university in that course. Yeah, I had a lot of difficulty understanding that course. I think the best you can do is just kind of memorize a few of the key proofs and stuff. It was always on my to-do list to go back and fully understand what single turnstile and double turnstile actually meant. What if we all are AI coded by Robert? I don't think so. I haven't coded any AIs, but you could be AIs coded by someone else. I'm befuddled by what is obviously a farcical charade. You guys caught me. What music do you listen to? People ask me that question surprisingly often. I listen to random stuff. I guess I'll have to maybe make it like an FAQ or something. Of like random songs I like. Drop a playlist. Yeah, I guess I'll put it on my to-do list. So I think I can simplify a lot of this if I can pull out the S into a much bigger loop here. That's not needed. Actually, let's not make too many changes. we'll test this. You should listen to a Lil B, wonton soup. Never heard of that. I'll add it to my to-do list. Aneurysm? What about aneurysm? I think Robert would be more into Donnie Bennett. Never heard of that person. I hope my testing is actually thorough. I almost get uneasy when my test cases don't fail. Maybe they're accidentally deactivated or something. The output's all messed up for this one. Burst of rap. I'm not a huge rap fan. Where did that C come from? Oh, I guess it was merged out That's why. Trues synthwave for coding. Can't play anything on stream, otherwise I'll get banned for copyright. Even though an AI of the future is just going to steal everything from us. Wait, did I actually compile it? I don't remember. I have to build the core module, otherwise when I run the tests, it's running the old version. It's very broken. Now I should be able to use this. Great, I think that'll work. Nope. I'm gonna go watch one of your other videos, Robert. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good night. It looks really broken. What does the test case do? Yep, it's broken. That's why I like having really good test cases. You can just turn your brain off and not really think. And just like delete code, and if it works, it's fine. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. How dare you misgender me? All right, that might work. Nope. Heisenberg says, say my name. That's from Breaking Bad or something. I've not watched that series. The Azrael Crowley, my name is your name, I guess. Maybe that'll work. Nope. Full of errors. Yep. Totally broken. Eric Remy says, hey, what's up? I'm currently working on refactoring some of the test cases and code for the layer merging algorithm in the block mining simulation game. Trying to improve the correctness and performance. As you can see, there's some bugs. Okay, it looks like it works. I'm taking a Linux course at my community college. It's on Compta's test-out platform. It's not the worst, but it's not great either. As someone who's had experience, the questions are too rigid. It's on Compta's test-out platform. Interesting. I'm not familiar with that. At least you're learning something at your community college. Do they have any kind of internship program there? I think that's one of the best things that college or university can do. Is offer a good co-op program. It's to have just like connections and stuff that help you get an in the right place. Applied to Snap, but they rejected me after going through 3 rounds. Snap, what did they do? If you actually did 3 rounds of interviews, that's good. That's like even just getting the feedback that you're not auto rejected, getting like real human experience. If you're getting if you're not getting rejected at the first interview, then that's bodes very well for you. Just get a whole bunch more of those, and the job, the time you get the job, it'll be like next time you do an interview and you think you didn't do very well, that'll be the one you get. That's the way it goes. And I'm building an app that visualizes rent control in my city. Yeah, anything to do with real estate is there's lots of money involved in that. That's basically the entire economy now, is rent. I discovered there are tens of thousands of units rented at a fraction of market value in my city. Oh wow, thank you very much. To Game Dev Chat for the $20. Good record day in the stock market, I assume. Excellent. I hope you'll continue to have much success in the stock market. So then you can fund my I can take out a small loan of $12 billion someday for the Deepwater Port. Legend indeed, yes. Tens of thousands of units rented out at a fraction of market value. Yeah, that's a huge opportunity. That's why rent eviction is a thing. It's so profitable to kick those people out. Oh, if anyone's new and listening, there's a Discord channel. So the official Discord channel, my official Discord is locked, but I have a link. There's another like kind of community one that's I don't moderate stuff there. I don't look at stuff there, but there's people that talk about programming topics and stuff. So when you go to my channel, if you click on like my channel and go to the links, there's a link to a Discord, and the link there, it's an invite link that's deliberately broken, and the last character of the invite link is a Z character. If you delete that character, you'll get to the actual invite link to the Discord. All right, that passed. In true Robert style. Yeah, I want to keep all the bots out. Strangely, still not working. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that after the stream then. Yeah, the invites have expiry dates. Maybe I accidentally gave it another link that expires. Huh. Yeah, there should be just one Z character at the end. Oh, okay. I just joined to remove the capital Z. Okay, must be working then. All right, that was able to bring out. Hey Robert, long time watcher of your channel. Just wondering if you have any info on how to get started with coding and Python. I recently used it for a fishing bot for World of Warcraft Classic. And interested in learning more, but don't know where to start. So you said you've learned Python, you've used Python enough to make a fishing bot. I think you're at that point. You've kind of are already started. If you're coding like a fishing bot, I'd say if you want to know more, the question is, what do you want to accomplish? Yeah, I guess there's a book recommendation there. I have no knowledge of that book, but I think that at this point in the world, there's so many resources to learn stuff that it's like there's so many good books and resources that there's not enough time to look at them all. So it's about choosing which is the best thing to waste your time on. Don't really have a clear goal right now, just interested in coding. Do you mean waste time jokingly or serious? I guess I mean both, because like it's very easy with like you could read a book and do all the exercises and stuff, and you would learn stuff. But there's an infinite number of, there's so many, you could spend like 1,000 lifetimes learning lots of obscure libraries and debugging things. And I guess it depends if your goal is to get a job. Like if your goal is to get a job out of it, the way you would approach it is probably very different from if you're doing it just like for like if you're, I'm not sure how old you are, if you're like retired or from Iran. Yeah, I'm not sure. How is the job market in Iran for software developers? I know the Middle East, a lot of those Middle Eastern countries there's like surprisingly good like pen testers and software developers there. Lots of very ambitious people. I'm from Iran too, but live in California. Yeah, Iran is, a lot of people don't really think much about Iran, but Iran is, it's like you guys have like 90 million people or something. It's a pretty, people don't realize how big Iran is. 32, mostly do it for a hobby. I think job development is very good. Don't know if I can do that as a job. Okay, if you're doing it as a hobby, then I think it's you can kind of just relax more, and a book is probably yeah, books is probably not a terrible thing. If you I guess if you spend a bunch of time on it and you don't really use it, then it's still not a huge loss. If it's more for leisure. I'd say probably the best outcome is you can think about have an objective of like what you want to accomplish. Hello, my friend. Watch your channel. You're a big inspiration. You're a good person too. Oh, thank you for the kind words. Yeah, I'd say if you wrote a phishing bot, you can always make a more advanced phishing bot, and then if you're interested in like pure math stuff, you could do some like try doing some like number theory stuff. Also machine learning, you can play around with that a little bit. You could do some do a Google search for like some of the what would it be like? I actually don't know many of the library. Would it be like TensorFlow or something? Or there's a lot of machine learning, like an AI packages in Python that might be fun to play around with. Python is good for like prototyping numerical computation. If you want to make like games and interactive stuff, you can check out the py game library. Yeah, lots of different directions you could take it in, but it all starts with your objective. Catface sends $2. My objective is to get good. That's a good objective to have. I shared the link. Do you see it? I think if you share links, it suppresses them. Thanks for your help. Appreciate it a lot. No worries. California is super hot. Don't come here unless you like roasted. Isn't it depends what area you're in, if I remember correctly. I was in San Jose for a while. I was actually surprised at how cool California was in the area that I was in. Are you guys going through a heat wave down there? I mean, California's big. So if you're in Death Valley, that gets pretty hot. But if you're in like down by the coast in San Francisco, it's cold. You need a jacket in the evening. Utah at 102 degrees Fahrenheit today. I have to mentally calculate what that is in Celsius. Java code once, debug everywhere. I debug it when the compiler runs, because the compiler tells me all the errors. Santa Monica's cold. Still running my heater throughout the night. 38.9. Oh, that's pretty nice. It was we had a heat wave up here. It was getting up to 33. Are you using Maven? Yes. On that note, I think I'll probably call it a night. It's another successful stream. I'm getting close to having this layer merging nonsense finished. There's only a couple more major things to fix, and then I gotta go back and figure out why it's so slow again. When you be back live? I'll be back live tomorrow. Get up to 44 degrees. Nice. Hopefully it's at least low humidity so you can sweat and dry it off. That's the worst when it's that hot and also humid. Time, I usually sleep for around the same time every day. So around 10 o'clock my time. Very low humidity. It's well, whatever time it is now, 2.5 hours ago. So I bet, like, you can look at the time on the, I'm not sure what the time is on the stream. It's probably two. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours ago at that same time. All right. Talk to you guys later.